restart the stream real quick. I don't know why it's not going to. Okay, are we good? Took a while for YouTube to catch up. Alright, there we go. Hello, everybody. Yeah, okay, it looks like we're good. Hello, hello. Come on, come on. Start off with detailing Ornstein. Yep, this is Clip Studio Paint, and today I'm working on a painting of Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls. First things first, gonna work on Ornstein's detail outline. It's not going to be an outlined picture, it's just going to be painting, but outline will help. Thankfully, there's some fairly good references of these two in Google Images. I'm just chilling out today. Nice and quiet. These guys have pretty intricate armor, which I'm not too experienced in drawing. If you're looking for cheap drawing software, the Clip Studio Paint version I'm using is not very expensive at all. I believe I got it for only like 50, somewhere between like 50 and 80 bucks, which is pretty dang good as far as art programs are concerned. And I highly recommend this program, it's very good. This is a Clip Studio Paint Pro, so it's not the EX version. The EX version's more expensive, but I'm fine with the Pro. I have to redo some of this. Probably shouldn't shade. This is just for. I don't need to worry about being clean right now. Just roughing in some details. All right, his shoulder pad. Like goes like this. When am I opening commissions next? Probably sometime in August. I'm not entirely sure when, but I'm planning on doing some kind of commissions. I might try something different too. Instead of avatars, I might try doing like sketch commissions. See how that goes. Paint tool Sai is also cheap, from what I hear. It looks, from what I've seen, it looks very similar to this, so you probably can't go wrong with either. You should come forward a little more. Just don't want any tangents with his face there. Hello, Murasaki. Good to see you. Hello, everybody who's coming in. Okay, let's have it bend forward a little more. This shoulder blade, the shoulder plate is tough. It's kind of hard to tell what it's doing. It looks different at different angles. And he's got this back spikes, which also look completely different depending on the angle. They all kind of converge right there. I'd probably fudge it. Aaron, there you is. Good to see you. Do I have a Discord server? No, I don't have any public Discord servers at the moment. I don't really have any plans to make one for the time being. I'm listening to the Dark Souls soundtrack. It's the music today. Then you got let's put a line for his spine line. Josh, Mr. Chambers, it's good to see you. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. I don't know what that is, but welcome anyway. This is honestly one of the hardest parts of painting stuff like this. Just making sure you got the drawing itself right. Okay, good. In Dark Souls, you can get Ornstein and Smau's armor to wear on your own player, which makes it easier to get references for their armor. A lot of bosses I've drawn before were a lot harder to find good references of because they have a lot of little details and not constantly at good angles. I wish there was like an easy, just like model viewer for a lot of these characters. If I can get a good view of the helmet. I think it'd be cool if there was just like a... I don't think there is one like this, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think it'd be cool if there was just some kind of like website where you can... where people can just easily find 3D models from games. Not to download or anything, just to view in like kind of like in a Sketchfab fashion. So as far as I know, there's nothing like that, but maybe I'm wrong. I would love to find one. David Toons, good to see you. Lots of cool people today. So yeah, I'm using a picture of Ornstein from the front currently to draw him from the back, which is difficult. Models resource. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. I love this song from Dark Souls. It's so You're Gonna Fucking Die Right Now. Perfectly fits the boss. I need to find better references for this guy's helmet. It's hard. It's a little better. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm probably going to have them kind of like backlit with a rim light, so they're probably going to be like pretty dark anyway. It's okay if I don't get every single little detail right. I'll just post this to like Twitter and Tumblr and stuff. I don't have a DeviantArt. Used to, not anymore. Am I planning on doing any more Game Grumps movie trailers? Nope, not at the moment. I'm sort of done with Game Grumps content on my channel for now. If like for collabs, or if they want me to do one for their channel, then I'm still up for it. But I'm not probably gonna make any more Game Grumps animations for my channel. Oh boy, it's still tough. This part's wrong. Just gotta look more. It should probably be a little more higher. More like this. Yeah, I'll work with that for now. What's the purpose of doodling streams, or is it just for fun? It is just for fun. I think it's fun. Do I play Overwatch? Sometimes. I play with my friend, mostly. We just use it as a backdrop for just hanging out and chatting. I'm not super into the game itself anymore. I kind of got bored of it, but it's just easy to pick up and play if we want to get on some games and stuff. We were hoping that Splatoon 2 would like kind of replace Overwatch as our go-to online game for chatting, but as much as I like Splatoon 2, the online play when it comes to like playing with friends is fucking abysmal. It's just, you can't easily set up a party, you can't just like do what every other video game with online multiplayer can do. Not just easy party chats or stuff like that. God. Do you think traditional artists are boned job-wise and need to learn to use a drawing program and pad? Not necessarily. I mean, if you're good at what you do, I don't think it really matters whether you're traditional or digital. I would assume there's probably more digital work these days, but I don't know for a fact, and I'm sure there's still plenty of ways people would like to use traditional. And besides, when it comes to drawing, if you can draw, you can draw. And whether it's traditional or digital, you can take your skills from either and translate them to the other. You might be better at one than the other, but it's not like... If you can draw amazingly on paper, it's not like you're gonna have to relearn how to draw just because you're using a tablet. I accept art requests sometimes, but right now this is just a specific painting I'm working on. I accept art, like doodle requests, if I'm doing just a nonsense random stream where I take requests from the viewers and stuff. Not today though. Mr. Chambers, you're in the YouTube chat now. Look at you. 2 places at once. How did I learn to draw? I drew a lot. And if you want to learn how to draw, then draw a lot. And I'm still got things I want to learn, and so I'm gonna draw them a lot. Unless I get lazy. Which I shouldn't. I have a request. You should paint Ornstein and Smough. Alright, I'll make an exception for that. I'll paint Ornstein and Smough. Smough, Smo, Smog, Smoth. Ornstein. People argue how to pronounce Smo or Smoth, or I think pretty much everyone agrees it's Ornstein. I don't know if that's correct, but most people say Ornstein. Name my top 3 favorite YouTube channels. I can't really name my top 3 of all time. I can name some that I've liked a lot lately. Lately, I've really liked Super Eye Patch Wolf. I've really liked Matthew Matosis. Stuff like that. Those are like the main 2. I really like them as background noise and stuff. Actually, I think I meant to make his waist a little bit bigger down here so it looks more like it's in perspective. In fact, let's do a little magic here. Where's the magic? Here's the magic. I'm gonna... Don't be alarmed, this is just a test. Let's see. So his torso's here. That takes a long time to load for some reason. Yeah, that didn't really work well. Oh well, I'll just draw a little bigger down there. Am I excited for the Emoji Movie? I think, obviously, the answer is yes. I'm excited to watch other people react to it. And by that, I mean, I don't give a shit about it whatsoever. You know, it's weird. A lot of movies lately, there have been movies where I thought looked really stupid, but ended up being well-reviewed. I didn't think the Lego Movie would be very good, but it ended up being awesome. I didn't think Boss Baby would get good reviews, but it did. It ended up being alright. Emoji Movie is where I draw the line. I was like, alright, if this gets good reviews, then the world is officially topsy-turvy. and it didn't get good reviews, so at least I can maintain that small part of my sanity. I'm probably not going to be doing any top 10 lists anytime soon. I'm focusing mostly on animation doodles and Reb, so no video game content coming out anytime soon. No like game reviews or top 10s or anything. I was planning on making a top 10 Dark Souls or Bloodborne Souls series bosses, but that kind of fell by the wayside. I didn't really... Once I made my kind of reviews Sonic Lost World, I realized I don't really want to edit game footage that much. So, I might just write a Tumblr post about my top 10 Dark Souls bosses or something. Let's see, what does his butt look like? His butt's kind of nebulous in these photos. You've been struggling with switching over to a drawing pad, so what is a good middle ground? Well, the closest thing I could think of is unfortunately it's an expensive option, but if you can get a Cintiq or other similar monitor tablet like the one I'm using right now, the Cintiq 22 HD, a monitor tablet, it feels a lot more like traditional drawing because you actually just draw right on the screen, so you can see where you're drawing, like as if you're just looking at paper. So that's probably a lot easier to get used to than, say, a Bamboo or Intuos or whatever, the ones that you have to look at a different screen while you're drawing on the pad. So that's probably my recommendation if you're trying to transition into digital and you're having a hard time with it. But like I said, it is expensive, so keep that in mind. I think it's worth it. I really love my monitor tablet, but not everyone is going to see that as priority. How is Reb doing? Reb is doing good. I'm very happy with how episode 2 is coming along. It's unfortunately just takes a long time because I'm putting a lot of effort into it, but I'm really excited to see how people react to it once it's out. Thank you, Skrillioxoxo. What's the price range specifically for those tablets? I don't remember. I think the one I got was close to somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000. It gets pretty pricey. All right, arm. Got to look at like the underneath construction for his arm. Might mess with proportions a bit after I finish drawing this, if I can. Alright, I need a good reference for his arms. Okay, yeah, his arms are going to be hard to draw. I can't find many good pictures of his arms. What I say, any boss themes as of late have gotten into my top 10, or is it mostly the same? It's changed over time. Nothing lately sticks out, I don't think. Splatoon 2's final boss theme, it has some good parts to it. It's not a favorite or anything, though. Yeah, I can't think of much boss themes lately that have really gotten me hyped or pumped up. I think Splatoon 2's story mode is very fun. I have not played Splatoon 1's story mode, so I'm not sure. Part of me thinks that it might just be kind of more of the same, which, like, if I played the first one, maybe I wouldn't be as impressed. But I thought, like, just going into Splatoon 2, having not played the first one, I thought it was pretty fun. There were a few moments that... There's a few moments throughout the campaign where I recognized some stuff. I'm like, okay, that definitely was in the first one, so they're just reusing stuff, which was kind of a bummer. But, that aside, it was pretty fun. Have you ever collabed with other artists in anime? I've collabed with other artists and stuff, like on Animated Grump and a bunch of other people. Right now, I've collaborated on a few things with Dinner Joe and Kevin, Moving Doodles, and Eora. We all kind of chat here and there to work on some stuff. And I just did a Starbomb collab that David Toons organized. Cool folks in there. Hang on, I'm just trying to find good pictures of his arms. The recent Kirby games have good final boss themes. They're all good. It looks like he's actually holding something. That arm does not look correct. Let's scribble some more. It's probably too thin at this part. Favorite Dark Souls game? Tough. Probably Dark Souls 1 on the whole. It generally falls between Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne. I kind of flip-flop between them. Just depends on the mood. Hey, the Wax. Good to see you. What's this arm doing? I need to fix this. I think I didn't make his shoulder blade big enough. Scribble first. Start getting this in here. Let's see. It says. Sometimes you gotta just draw the construction underneath to get the arm right. That's a little better. Yeah, it's supposed to curve a little bit more that way, I think. That's a little better. Any thoughts on the new It trailer? I think it looks pretty good, actually. Not bad. I think I did not like the design of the clown at first when they just showed the pictures, but in the trailers he looks a little creepier, and I like that. Ready for Rick and Morty Season 3? Yes, I am. I thought it already started, though, and I thought I missed it. Maybe it did. So I'll have to catch up if I'd missed it. As much as I love certain TV shows, I tend not to watch them live. Just because I don't like having to sit down and set out a time for it. Okay, I think that's good for one scene for now. Let's see if I can improve his proportions at all. This is the messy part of the process. Maybe I'll make his head a little smaller so that it looks like he's going more into the distance. Wait, the Stardust Crusaders dub is on Saturday? Oh man, I looked it up. I keep looking Stardust Crusaders up, and I swear I couldn't find any release dates for the dub. I thought it was just going to be lost in purgatory forever. That's cool. I'll just check that out. I was hoping that would show up eventually. Any thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey? I think it looks good. No, I do not hate Twitch chat. There's just not as much Twitch chat going on. Find his upper arm, the lower arm. All right, that'll be good for now. Now let's get his spear. Oh yeah, Patrick Seitz is voicing Dio and Star Platinums. That's gonna be interesting. He's gonna be a lot of him screaming at himself. What age did I start taking art seriously? Middle of high school, probably. I've always kind of wanted to do something with art, but it wasn't until like middle of high school where I was like, I should probably put more effort into this. Do I like the new preview feature on YouTube, and do you think it could be better? I like the idea, because for a while on the YouTube app, it would just play like a preview of the video in silence as you scrolled over it, and I thought that was kind of neat. But the other day, it updated, and now whenever it scrolls over, it plays the sound, and I don't want it to play the sound when I'm just scrolling through it. It's stupid. So I had to turn it off. So, if you can have it enabled, but just disable the sound, I think that's fine. Because the way it is now, it's kind of dopey. I like Matthew Mercer as Jotaro. I think he's good. I mean, as I will always consider the dub of JoJo to be secondary to the Japanese original, is because it's such a Japanese show. Like I love the dubs, but I'm not super hard on the dubs just because I don't really feel a need to. I just kind of let loose with the dubs, let them have fun. Have I gone to college or art school? Nope. No plans to at the moment. What's my favorite anime? It generally comes down to Berserk from the 1990s and Kill la Kill. Renee, good to see yous. I'm good, how are you? Ryuko or Satsuki? Don't make me choose! How dare you? I think Satsuki, I like her design slightly more, but they're both really good designs. Have I watched Ping Pong the animation? No, but I hear it's good. The only place I've seen JoJo's dubbed is just on Toonami, and they have it on the Adult Swim website sometimes. I think all of it's on the deal. Maybe not all of it. Maybe some episodes are gone. Oh, they are? I didn't know they were on DVD. That's one thing I've noticed about anime dubs. I find it really difficult to find, like, whether or not they're on DVD. Like, a lot of times, it's really hard to get a concrete answer on that. I don't know where to look for that information. Yes, number one from Kids Next Door did voice Joseph Joestar, and it's very silly. What do I think of Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann? I think it's really good. I didn't like it that much the first time I watched it, but the second time I watched it, I liked it a lot. Because the first time I watched it, I didn't think the characters were that interesting. But the second time I watched it, I realized it was more just about the overall experience, not so much about amazingly written characters. I will say, I do have a problem with Gurren Lagann, though, is that near the end, like, there's a lot of characters who... There's, not spoiling anything, but there's some characters who die, like, in some of the big fights and stuff, and they treat it like a huge deal. But really, it's a lot of times it's characters who've only had, like, 2 lines. Yeah, in general, that show's biggest problem to me is that there's a lot of characters that it treats like they're important, but I don't really know anything about them, and it doesn't really flesh them out at all. So I think that's probably the show's biggest weakness. But it's a very fun show. It's very well animated. And it's just a bunch of crazy fun. One Punch Man is on DVD too in English. Damn, I need to figure out. I guess I should look on Amazon more often because I want those. One Punch Man is one of the best dubs I've ever heard. What's my least favorite anime? I don't know. What's my least favorite anime? I haven't really seen that many bad anime. It's mostly, it's mostly just stuff that I deem good or less good for the most part recently. I did not like JoJo at first, but now I do. So it seems like most anime I don't like, I end up liking later. I did watch an episode of Tokyo Ghoul, and I did not like it at all. But maybe it gets better later. I liked the animation in Tokyo Ghoul, but I fucking hated the protagonist. But that was only for the first episode, so like I said, maybe it gets better later. I have a friend who said that show's really good, so I'm not judging it right away. Okay, moving on to Smough. Drawn Smough. Am I excited for FLCL 2 and 3? I haven't seen the first. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping the Mob Psycho 100 dub gets released soon. Though for that one, I probably prefer the sub a little bit. I've only heard a little bit of the dub. Alright, let's get Smough. Start with his big ol' silly head, which is not actually his head. It's just on top of his armor. I watched a bit of the first season of Psycho Pass, and I liked it, but then Hulu didn't have the rest. I think they've updated it and added the rest back now, so maybe I'll finish it. Although I really liked the first episode of Psycho Pass, and then when it got into the stuff with like the online world, with, like Spooky Boogie and like the online avatar people, I thought that got a little stupid. I preferred how like dark the first episode was. I like Voltron Legendary Defender quite a bit. I haven't finished it, but I like it a lot because it's by the art designers of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I love that show to pieces. Spooky Boogie. Alright, I think Smough will be a little bit easier to draw. I'm doing good, Metal Sonic Reject. Thank you for asking. I'm sorry Metal Sonic rejected you. As far as I know, these are his actual eyes. I also saw a post that said his actual eyes might be somewhere like up here. But we don't know what he looks like underneath, so I guess we'll never know. What's the weirdest show / movie I've ever watched? Weirdest show is probably Bobo 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 Bo. And, weirdest movie? Weirdest movie. Probably anything by David Lynch. I guess I'm not sure his nips aren't actually his eyes. I guess I have no way of knowing that. Do I like Trigger's works? Yes, I do. They're my fave. I love all... I haven't seen all their stuff, but everything I've seen of them I love. Bobo made me laugh like a fucking maniac when I was a kid. I haven't really watched it a lot since then. But I want to check it out one of these days, it'll be funny. My name is Bobo, but my friends call me Bobo. Yeah, I don't need to be as detailed with Smough because he's more in the background. Am I planning on doing artwork for Mendy and the Ink Machine? Nah, I never played it. Wait, the Bobo manga is still going? I didn't know that. That's awesome. I think he got his boob placement wrong a little bit. It was a little lower. So first I gotta come down here. Wow, I never realized how detailed Smough's armor boobs are. Yeah, looks like they gave him like little flowery nipples. Such detail. Yeah, wow. Have I watched One Piece or My Hero Academia recently in English? One Piece, I watched one episode in Japanese, and I was like, I don't have time for this. And then I'm currently almost caught up with My Hero Academia, and I watched English for first season, and they don't have the English second season yet, so I'm watching that in Japanese. But I prefer the dub. I like the dub better than the sub. Spending a lot of time on these boobs. What brush to use? Right now, I'm using something by, I believe this is by Friendin. I believe it was from the Friendin art pack, brush pack. I mean, it's just basically like a Photoshop round brush, and I haven't really been switching through them, so these are the settings I've been using. I've watched a little bit of Penny and Stocking. I like it. I'll be sure to watch all the Studio Trigger stuff that I haven't seen yet. I generally only have the patience for one anime at a time, though. So I'm right now it's My Hero Academia. We'll say though, My Hero Academia has its ups and downs. I'm not really liking the trainer character that Deku has right now, the Gran Torino. I think that's a very cliche character, and I wish they would just stick with All Might and stuff. And also, I think Todoroki needs to have his story back in focus, because I don't care about Ida's story as much. I want to get back to Todoroki. How much does the brush pack cost? It was a long time ago, I'm not sure, but I recall it being pretty cheap. Have I watched Castlevania? Yes. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I can't wait for more. Watch One Piece in English. You will cry. No, I won't. No anime has made me cry. I don't think I've cried at a TV show since Teen Titans as a kid, where Terra turned into a rock. As I recall, that is the last time a TV show made me cry. So... Or no, wait. And the end of Over the Garden Wall got me teary-eyed. I did not cry, but that got me teary-eyed. So yeah, those two. And anime has yet to make me cry. And everyone's like, you will cry at this part. And I'm just like, nope. No, I won't. If an anime makes me cry, I will buy every DVD. I'll tell you that. I will buy all the merchandise. That is my challenge. Because I don't think it can be done. Wait, there's gonna be a Kill la Kill Season 2? There is? I didn't hear about that. If there is, I'm gonna lose my shit. But even if it's not true, I'm still looking forward to whatever Studio Trigger has to offer. Yeah, Kill la Kill doesn't really need a Season 2. I love it, but I'd rather see what new stuff they have to do. Okay, now his armor is kind of like flowery. Ornate. These are two very ornate gentlemen. Do you remember my friend Quiba? Gabe? High school? I don't follow you. I don't know. Would I consider anime an art style or not? There's arguments for yes and no. I'd like to say no, because anime is just like the Japanese term for animation, and that's not really. But it's just become a term to describe a certain look, because the fact of the matter is a lot of anime does look very similar. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But on the whole, I would say anime is not an art style in and of itself. Yeah, I don't know, this is a hard topic to talk about, but like, the optimist in me would like to just say flat out no, but the cynic in me says yes, a lot of it does look the same, and therefore we can attribute it to like a certain style. But I bet Japanese people think the same about a lot of American cartoons too. So I'm guessing that's just kind of a cultural thing. I have no idea how to pronounce your username. The all-knowing sauce. Let's not get into where I actually went to high school or anything. How am I doing with Kinda reviews? I'm not working on Kinda reviews right now. I've said this a couple times in streams already, but I'm not working on Kinda reviews right now. I'm working on stuff that I enjoy more. I might bring Kinda reviews. I might bring Kinda reviews back eventually, but not right now. Because I've said this many times. I really appreciate that everyone likes the Sonic video, but to be perfectly honest, editing game footage is not fun. And I like animating. I like drawing. But animating myself in place, talking about a video game, and then editing game footage, it really is not that fun. And so I'm probably not going to be doing many of those. No, it's no bother. You're not bothering me with the question. I'm just answering because I've said it before. No, never feel like you're bothering me with questions. I don't want to give that feeling off. Okay, how do I draw his legs? The all-knowing sauce. I have a YouTube chat going on right now. Twitch people, YouTube people, I'm doing both of your chats at once. In case you didn't know. Yeah, because otherwise it probably does sound like I'm being an insane person. A lot of Emoji Movie questions in the chat. I'm not going to see the Emoji Movie. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to smell it. I'm not going to talk to it. I'm just going to let it be. Alright, is this plump bastard finished? He does have a belly button of some sort, but I think it's going to be covered by Ornstein's arms, so whatever. Yep, this is Dark Souls art. Xbox One, PS4, or PC gaming? I like games. That's my answer. Console gaming for comfort, PC gaming for better performance. Do you think if someone else helped out with editing, you'd consider more kind reviews? Nah, I'm not gonna get people helping out with editing for that. If I get anyone helping out with my process, it's going to be for Reb or other animation stuff. I feel like I don't want to disappoint people who like kind of reviews, but I really am not focusing on kind of reviews. It's not officially canceled, but it's not gonna be often. Thank you, Scarlet Otaku. Ever heard of a small anime called Restaurant to Another World? I have not heard of that, but that's a cool title. Alright, I might need to alter where his hammer is in the... I don't think the handle connecting to the base is correct. Also, this is a band of some sort on his waist. It's not a schlong. YouTube is where I have my first online posted animation. I have plenty of stuff just randomly laying around my computer that I did before that, but YouTube is where I have all my online stuff. Let's see. This is another part of drawing Dark Souls and video game bosses in general. Now I have to find a picture of him where the angle is so that I can see where the handle connects to the hammer. And it's not like I can just search that up. I need to start drawing cartoonier stuff. Yeah, it looks like the handle actually connects more here, not here. So I goofed. Let me just do that. That might work. I could probably fix that. Not too bad. That'll do. What are your thoughts on the Dark Souls of platformers? I think Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is pretty good. I like it a lot. It's got its issues, but on the whole, I like it. It's got its issues, but I can tell they cared. It wasn't a... I feel like any issues it had probably were a result of it being rushed. I don't know that for a fact, but that's the impression I get. Because there's a lot of like little technical glitches or visual weird things in the Crash Insane trilogy but there's also a lot of really good stuff that makes me think that the stuff that they got wrong feels more like they didn't have time to fix it. Because there's other parts where you can tell they really put their effort into it, and they really did a good job. So I feel like maybe they just needed more time. Alright, let's get back to this layer. If I was at gunpoint and the terrorist said make a new kind of reviews, what game would I play? I don't know. Cooking Mama Cook-Off for the Wii. What is the meaning of life? Macaroni and cheese. Alright, gotta get this silly old hammer. I would have to say, this is a very large hammer. Yeah, it sucks that a lot of animation programs are pretty expensive. There are a few that I hear are free. I think I'm not sure. I think Krita? No, is that an animation program? I might be wrong on that. But if you're looking for cheaper options, you can always, for Toon Boom or Flash, you can subscribe and just pay a small monthly fee. Relatively small, that is. And so if you want to try it out, you can always just do a month and then cancel it. And see if you like it. Hello everybody who's coming in. What do I think of Dark Souls 3? Dark Souls 3 is very, very well polished and fun. It's probably one of the most fun games in the series, if not the most fun, but it's also severely lacking in creativity compared to the rest of the games in the series. It's very much, a lot of reviewers have said this, and I think it's appropriate. It feels more like a greatest hits album than it does like its own game, because a lot of ideas it has in terms of aesthetics and stuff are just ripped straight from the other games in the series, and I think it's kind of lame for that reason. But compared to most games on the market, it's still really awesome. And it has great boss fights, and it's a lot of fun. It's probably one of the most easily replayable since it's more accessible than the other games. But I definitely think Dark Souls 3 is missing the creative spark that the other games have. And I'll talk about a couple of things that are spoilery, but it's been out for a while. Everyone geeks out about like the return to Anor Londo and stuff in that game. I did not like that moment. I thought that was a really stupid callback. And because Dark Souls is not old enough to be nostalgic yet. So you don't need to do it. And then at the end where the final boss is just like a mixture of all the Lords of Cinder, and then it plays Gwyn's theme and he starts playing like Gwyn. I just thought that was so uncreative. I thought it was going to end in a much more interesting and new fashion. So I might be in the minority on that, but I do not think the Soul of Cinder is a cool boss, and I don't think that reusing Anor Londo was good. Even down to little things, like the blacksmith is just Andre again, and there's a character who looks exactly like Siegmeyer again. And 95% of the boss arenas are just big old cathedral arenas. Just stuff like that bugs me. Whereas Bloodborne and Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 had much more creative, just a feel to it. Like stuff that I haven't seen before. Why am I following a furry porn Twitter page? I'm not. I'm following some pages who may have done furry porn stuff, but I don't follow people for furry porn. And even if I did, who cares? There's a few artists I follow who probably have dabbled in furry stuff before, but I don't know who you're talking about. There's a fidget spinner anime, huh? I thought that was a joke, but I guess if people are saying it's real, I believe it. Do I play Dungeons & Dragons? I don't, but I've got a couple of friends who might want to try playing it together, so I might give it a go. Hello, Ethanopia. Okay, I gotta get a better picture of his hammer. Get the details on his hammer. Hammer, hammer. Get rid of this. Hey, thanks, Thunderstreak. I like Smile's design because everything about him is lumpy. He's got a lumpy neck area, he's got lumpy boobs, he's got a lumpy stummy. He's got a lumpy, even his hammer is lumpy. Like, look, he's got, like, lumps on his hammer. Should be more like Ornstein and lumpy, am I right? Do I like the game Dishonored? I played a little bit of it when it was free on PlayStation Plus a long time ago. I remember it being fun. I'm generally not into those types of, like, Bethesda... I think it's Bethesda, right? Well, because for the most part, I think Bethesda has really bad characters and stories and stuff. Or, maybe I shouldn't say that. I haven't played enough of their games. But, like, I find their games hard to... You know, actually, I'm going to take that back because they're a big publisher. They've made a lot of different games. I guess I'm referring more to Skyrim when I say that. I don't like their characters very much, but I've heard Fallout has fun characters, and Wolfenstein has really good characters, I must say. But Dishonored, I wouldn't say I got into the story at all. I just liked it for the gameplay. So I wish they would have better stories for that. And then I heard Dishonored 2 was just kind of okay. What was my favorite cartoon growing up? SpongeBob. Good old good SpongeBob. And then there's The Simpsons once my mom decided I was old enough. Simpsons is very funny back in the day. Home Movies is another good one. Alright, then there's the ends of his hammer. Which have lumps on the end that kind of... I don't really know what they're supposed to be. I think it kind of almost looks like fingernails. This is a strange hammer. Have I watched Transformers Prime? Nope. Nothing against it. I just never watched it. I don't really have any interest in it. Yep, I'm very excited for Rick and Morty. Have I watched South Park? Yep, I was very into it for a long time. Not as into it these days, but I still like it. Last season was really bad, though. These lines kind of hang over the base of the hammer. I don't vape. Have I seen Loud House? No, just a few clips here and there. Looks fine. I wouldn't say it intrigues me that much. Am I inspired by any YouTube animators? Yes, I am. Pretty much all of them. Have I seen the Hellbenders leaked demo? I've seen that it was around. I'm not going to watch it. I feel like I'd rather just respect Chris and Zach's intentions for whenever they want it to actually be shown. Oh, thank you, Chardude. Alright, I believe this is just about done for the oh, I gotta get his hands. Do I have a Switch, and what is my favorite, least favorite thing about it? I have a Switch. Favorite thing is the portability stuff and just having some pretty fun games. Least favorite thing is how online is still not fucking working like every other online console ever. You can't just do a regular party chat. You can't just invite friends to a game easily. It's so stupid. Nintendo is so... they're so creative, and yet they're so behind the times when it comes to online. It's ridiculous. And I have no idea how they've gone this long and not realizing we need to fix this. Still not the right position for the hammer thing. More like there. Don't want to have a tangent with the spike on there. What are my thoughts on Cars 3? I don't really care about it. I don't like Cars very much. My friend and I might go see it for the shits and giggles, but Cars is by far the worst Pixar franchise. I haven't seen Brave, though, so I don't know if that's better or worse. It's amazing to me that Nintendo still uses friend codes. That just goes to show how completely out of touch they are. Like, I know the people working at Nintendo can't possibly be stupid because they're at Nintendo, and Nintendo makes, like, amazing products and games, and they've survived this long, but I don't know how else to describe it other than stupid for how they're treating online. I don't know what else to call it. Gets my panties up in a notch. No, it's not the internet provider. I don't blame disconnections on the service. I'm blaming their design of the online services. How you don't have options, and you don't have just, like, whatever party chat and everything that Xbox and PS4 have had for years. Can I talk about Captain Underpants, the movie? Yes, I can. It's a good movie. I recommend it. I liked it a lot. And I grew up with the books, and it made me happy. They did a very good job with it. Alright, I'm gonna have the... hammer will get a little thicker down here since it's closer. And it was the ball at the end. I think it's a ball. Yeah. I think I might need to adjust this hammer a little. Yeah, it's better. It looks a little in the wrong angle for the handle. Alright, last but not least, gotta get his hands. So all that time spent on the move, and it's not even going to be seen anyway, because it's going to be obscured by the hands. I know how to prioritize. Hello, Hyper Flippy Pasta. Thank you, Coldington. That was a fun collab to work on. Alright, that's probably a good base to work with. Made Ornstein's hair longer than in the game for style. Yeah, Wolf Blur. How's it going? This is Ornstein and Smaug from Dark Souls. Okay, Hyper Flippy Pasta, I think I remember you now. You're the toilet guy. You can keep that stuff to yourself, mister. I'm looking forward to the Rocco TV special, but I'm looking even more forward to the Hey Arnold special. My friend and I watched some Hey Arnold the other day. That show holds up, I must say. Alright, time to start coloring these guys. I'm probably just going to block out a little bit of the color on these guys and then call it a day. And then I'll spend another stream sometime soon doing the actual colors. Let's see how I want the... Yeah, this will just be for blocking out. This won't be the actual final colors or anything. And they haven't shown it yet, but Invader Zim is getting a TV special too. Looking forward to that too. I didn't actually grow up on Rocco's Modern Life though, so that's probably why I'm not as excited for it. I would love a Dark Souls 1 remaster, just because the game is unfinished, and so if they actually like polished it up a bit, it would be way better. It'd be nice to just have it at 60 frames per second on console. Just fix the frame rate, make the lava look better. I don't know, maybe some unused content if there was any. Yeah, I don't know what else they could really do, but yeah, there's stuff they could polish up a bit. It feels good to have 100,000 subscribers. Feels nice. Feels nice to be loved. I don't know if they actually love me, but they click the subscribe button, which I consider a love button. What do I like best about Sonic 06? It's funny. It's very funny. Not on purpose, but it's funny. At what age did I get good at drawing? I don't know. I don't know if I'm even good at drawing now. It's just always it's not like a switch on and off that's like, I was bad until age 14 and then I became good. It's just an ongoing process. What do I think of Sonic Force's new villain, Infinite? Stupid, and therefore I'm very much looking forward to it. And now let's make it Ornstein darker than Smao, not lighter. Because he's the more evil of the two, I think. My day's pretty good. Any tips besides practice? I mean, practice is really the biggest tip. There isn't really a whole lot more to it. Just look up YouTube tutorials. I'm not a great teacher. Just YouTube tutorials are the best place to learn for stuff like this, I think. I mean, there's other places to go to, but there's plenty of stuff on YouTube to get you on your way. How does shading work? You shade stuff. Look at, like I said, tutorials are the best place to ask for that, not me. What's the worst anime cliche? When people are in a fight and a character does something very obvious. For example, they go fast, and then the main character, instead of just shutting up and fighting them, they have to pause and stare and be like, "Whoa, he's fast!" That's one of the worst things about anime in general, I've noticed, is that people cannot just fight. They have to constantly stop and start and talk about what the fight is doing. They're like, "Wow, he just used an amazing technique. I don't know if I'll be able to stop that technique." And it's like, just shut up and let the animation do the talking. My Hero Academia is very bad at that, unfortunately. I like that show, though. What else? JoJo is the absolute worst at it, but at first that was a bad thing. Then as the show went on, like in season 3 and 4, that became a little bit more of just part of the experience, part of the fun. I still think they could do with more, just like visual storytelling. Let's see, should I make Ornstein brighter or darker? Nah, brighter. Alright, well, I think that'll do it for me for today, and I will continue this painting on another stream sometime soon. So, thanks for joining in, everybody. Thanks for giving me some nice things to talk about. Thanks for all the love, all the joy, all the support. And I shall see you. Greg, I think Etika just crashed the chat. What's that? I don't. Oh, did he crash the chat? I don't know what he would do about that. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. Bye bye. See you. Yeah. Oh, before I go, yeah. Guys, tomorrow and Sunday, if you've seen on my channel, on Rice Pirates Twitch channel, there's going to be a charity stream to raise money for Angel X Mikey, who just went through a double lung transplant, and he's a really awesome artist, awesome animator, and we're trying to help. He's going through a pretty rough financial situation because of it, obviously, and so we're trying to raise some money to help out him and his family for the procedures that he went through, and so. Yeah, so take a look at Rice Pirates Twitch channel tomorrow and Sunday, and I will be on Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be around like 5 a.m. over where I'm at. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. There'll be posts on Twitter about it, I'm sure, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for coming.